These soldiers are working together to haul their gear into a school in Inuvik where they're preparing their kit.
Well, we have our mucklucks here.
These mucklucks worked well for Sergeant Chad Wiseman in the Newfoundland winters he's used to. Today is their first Arctic test.
What's the difference you've noticed so far being in this environment versus back home?
I think the temperatures, when you check the forecast, the temperatures seem a bit intimidating.
Private Matthew Bradley, just 18 years old, says getting here was a shock.
You breathe in and like your nose hairs are freezing like immediately. That was the biggest thing I noticed for sure.
That was the big warning for you. What have I gotten myself into?
Something like that for sure.
At their first briefing in the Arctic training exercise Operation Nanook, another dose of cold reality.
This is not your backyard.
Many are reservists, part-time soldiers. This is their first contact with one of Canada's Arctic Rangers, military experts in the wilderness, known by their red hoodies.
Things that are going to kill you out here. There's three of them. The ice, the cold, and arrogance.
The troops will learn skills from those rangers because to fight you first have to survive. But as their tents go up, Corporal Katie King notices something unexpected about the cold.
It's a dry cold up here, which I'm used to a wet cold, so it hits you more back home.
The next morning, it's Private Bradley who feels more confident.
You got your thermals on in there as well. Like I just stripped down a little bit too. It's pretty hot.
You were too hot
Yeah.
in a canvas tent in the winter in Inuvik?
Yeah. I mean, they're made for it.
An encouraging sign for Operation Nanook. One reason it's hosting so many reservists, the Canadian military is running another large operation at the same time. 2,000 members are in Latvia as peacekeepers. Recruitment, which has typically lagged by thousands, is on its way to meet this year's recruiting goal of 6,500. Operation Nanook also includes reservists under the command of Captain Joshua Rumbold,
What we hope to see is the effects of our demolitions on those targets.
whose demonstration requires us to wear safety gear.
Why am I wearing the helmet? Because we're about to see an enormous amount of C4 blow up.
His crew will deploy powerful explosives against this snow defense made of bricks of ice.
How much C4 is in there?
So we actually have 13 blocks of C4 in there.
The goal, to learn how C4 detonates in the cold.
As a precautionary measure, we've got to get 500 meters away from those blasts, but we'll leave some cameras rolling.
3, 2, 1.
And seconds later, a successful test that validates the prep work.
I was emotional, a little bit overcome with joy that this was able to happen.
As the reservists realize in the cold, they may be more prepared than they first thought.